What's up, party people? Hey, welcome in. Let me get my phone so I can see the chat. Welcome into the Rhino Man Show. Hey guys, the Rhino Man Show is all around. You know, you get slots, you get on location, you get, you know, restaurant reviews. By the way, guys, I did a fantastic review today. It was pretty awesome. I must say, I really enjoyed that place. Little hole in the wall, but it was absolutely amazing, as you guys will see in that video coming out. Plus, I dropped a short today. It was a Buffalo hit, a one-line hit that paid me like 300 and something bucks. Amazing, just amazing. I was going up and down on all the different denoms, everything else, so it was fun. I'm still here at Cocoa Pot. I only put 20 bucks in that machine and cashed out for 300, so that was awesome. Happy Friday to everybody. First and foremost, let me get started with some housekeeping issues. I see some people in the chat. I see Bradley Jones. Hey, if you don't know, on my community page, I dropped a link for Claudia, the Italian chick. She's going through something right now. She needs a little bit of help. She needs to be reached out to. She has a GoFundMe out there. Hey, please just go take a look at it. If you want to donate, please donate. It definitely helps out. Let's see who we got in the chat. Hey, I got my phone, guys. I can look at it this way, and I can still be at the camera. We got Bradley Jones in the house. We got Danny D, the super supporter. We got Sister Yoshi saying happy Friday to everybody. You know, I'm pretty sure Sister Yoshi is going to be at a casino once, twice, maybe 3 times this weekend. She's a channel manager. She's got to go scope out locations and have some fun at the same time. So I know she's doing that for sure. We got Wizard Sister in the house. Hello, Rhino Man. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you and everybody else out there. I appreciate you guys coming in. Hey, I'm just glad you guys don't get tired of looking at this ugly face. Appreciate that. Matt's Gambling Slots. Hey, welcome in, bud. Really appreciate you. Let's see who else. If you guys are in the background, come on in and say hi. We're going to get Simon on the screen in a minute to talk about her event and find out the 411 on APRAXIA. Hey, I knew nothing about it before her, but it's fascinating to hear and learn. Claudia, the Italian chick's going through something. We all know Slotty by nature has been going through something. And this is the thing about life and what happens. You get hit in the face with something you're not expecting, maybe you are expecting, and it's tough to deal with when it happens. And you just got to try and push through it, try and stay positive, try and keep upbeat. Well, sometimes it just keeps piling on and piling on. So I want everybody in the chat, 1, to send love out to Claudia, the Italian chick. 2, to Slotty by nature. She's been hit with something else just recently. Her father just passed away. I don't know if I was able to say that or not, but hey, Rhino Man Show, I'm just putting it out there. She needs your prayers. She needs your love. Send her positive vibes. Hey, when things go wrong, they keep going wrong, but you go through them, you'll get through them, and she'll bounce back. Hey, with she'll bounce back better than she was before. I'm absolutely sure of it. Okay, Nene Slots, welcome in. Without any further ado, I'm going to bring Simon on, and we're going to start talking to her. Let me get her on the screen here. Good morning, Simon. I can't hear you.
Hey everybody, what's up and how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic, and thank you for coming on. We're going to talk about your whole event that you have coming up tomorrow. And I'm sorry that we're doing it on Friday. I was supposed to do it on Thursday, but that was a long day for me, a lot of driving and everything else. So we're here today. First, let's talk about your channel. Jackpot Joe Slots, welcome in. Appreciate you. Hey, bro, I bought a Hawaiian cup today, a pineapple cup today just for you. Gamblers Unknown, good morning. Simon, you've been doing YouTube for how long?
I have been doing YouTube since I was 17 years old. I started my YouTube channel because I got fascinated with the slot machine design, and I had an IGT Series M 1983 slot machine in my living room. So I decided to go live and see how it went. Little did I realize just how much just how much that would take off. And thank you so much for asking that question.
Perfect. Before I ask you another question, I gotta let everybody know. Hey, there is a different beer for every occasion. When you're out by the pool, you can't have glass out here. They won't let you. I tried to bring my Corona bottles out here. They said no way. So what do? I get the big boys. There you go, guys. The big boys, the Corona Extra 24-ounce can. Hey, it's good enough for the show. I'm gonna drink it, have a good time, and talk to Simon.
Yes,
Okay,
look what
Simon.
Sorry, what
So
did you say?
we just had a jet fly by. If you don't know, Yuma, Arizona is a. Give me a second. I'm gonna let it happen. This is what happened when you drive on YouTube. Okay, guys, this is Yuma, Arizona. It's a big military town. They do have a lot of flyovers, and I'm out by the pool, chilling with my beer and just enjoying myself. Simon, what is apraxia?
All right, so that is a really good question. Thank you for asking. All right, so apraxia is the oromotor apraxia is like the type of apraxia I have. There is also something called bulboapraxia, which some other people have, which some other people like not have, but like some other people like some other. I'm so sorry, I'm tripping over my words, but I am definitely disabled, meaning that when I try saying my words, sometimes my brain cannot coordinate with my mouth. It's as if my words get stuck in a cog, and they keep spinning around in a circle. Sometimes, like when I'm thinking like of a word or something to say, like right now, it's actually very difficult for me to articulate certain sounds, especially the oral sound, because my mouth cannot really coordinate with my brain.
Okay.
So that is why it takes a lot of effort and it's like a lot of like work and patience and practice and 12 years of speech therapy just to be able to get to this point. When I was 4 years old, the only two words I could say was moo and ma. Moo from no, ma from mama. That was the only two words I could say. It took me until 12 years old to be able to speak, even hold, to be able to speak in sentences and to hold a phone conversation.
Okay.
That is how difficult life with apraxia can be, and it does take a lot, not to overcome it out, but just a lot to like, improve my speech.
Okay. I'm going to touch on that in 1 minute. Let me recognize everybody in the chat. We got Nini Slots. We got Gamblers Unknown. We got Goldie One. We got Level Up Creator Support, and we'll talk about her. We got Slot Sister Slots in the house. We got Bradley Jones. We got, let's see, Sister Yoshi, of course, Jackpot Joe Slots, SoCal Slots. Appreciate each and every one of you guys coming in. We got the Wizard Sister. I don't see Randy, so this stream should be fantastic. As long as he doesn't join, we should have a nice stream without anything doing that. So, apraxia from your description is your brain is telling your mouth what to say. However, your mouth is having a hard time spitting out the words that your brain is communicating to it.
That is, and it's as if it's like a jammed up printer. Can I address the chat real quick?
Sure.
Thank you so much, Randy's Wizard Sister, aka Troublemaker, and thank you, Level Up Creator Support. Simon, you are incredible and have so much drive. I love me some you. Oh, thank you. Also, hi Jackpot Joe, hi Sister Yoshi, Danny D, Matt, and also happy birthday, Slot Sister. Woo!
Slot Sister's birthday today. Wow. Slot Sister's birthday today. You know what, Slot Sister? You have a special gift coming from the Rhino Man show. There you go. AMC Pluto 100K floor. Hey, appreciate that. D Lucky in the wife. I don't know what that means, AMC, but hey, it's all good. There's my son, Duncan Fornes. Hello, how are you doing? Randy is filming content. Yes, Randy's filming content for his new show. I can't wait to see some of that content come out, guys. But Simon, so for you going through school, how difficult was it with apraxia to go through school?
That is a really good question. When it came to school, what happened was I really did struggle. I didn't struggle in classes, but rather when I raised my hand to try to answer a question, I often might not hardly anybody understood me, especially in elementary school, which led to a lot of tears and frustration.
Okay.
When I tried, and especially when I tried articulating like a complex issue, like a historical event, it sounded like as if I was Charlie Brown's parent, which actually made me just added to my intense frustration. And going back to preschool, because I cannot articulate, and my articulation and people's and especially in Western society, where people connect somebody's ability to articulate with someone's ability to with someone's intellect, I was asked questions as what color are your shoes? What color is the rainbow? What and then especially the special aid said, can Tessa give Rita the rabbit? Which actually really made me furious because I could understand language and I could distinguish my alphabet, but nobody treated me as if I had any capability or any talent because of my inability to talk. Fast forward to elementary school, same thing, bullies. Got bullied by 2 people because of my speech. Middle school, things were fine. Flash forward to 11th grade in high school, where I know I'm dumping a lot of intense stuff, but this is the honest answer to these questions.
Okay.
And in 11th grade, what happened was I was in a very small school and had a very small class size. So what happened was I was in advanced placement math and regular language arts. In advanced math, nobody would speak to me because they did not consider me intelligent or good enough, even though I could do all the math, all the assignments, and articulate. By this point, bear to articulate in class. My classmates did turn against me and didn't want me to be the partner because they did not want to see themselves with somebody as disabled. So that's honestly how my apraxia impacted my ability to get through school.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions on that. Creepy old man says, "Hi, Simon. Hi, Rhino.
Hi.
Appreciate you coming in." Okay, so you said a couple of things there, and I deal with things as jokes, so don't take this one way. You said you sounded like the Charlie Brown womp 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 womp.
Yep.
when not Mrs. Rhino talks to me as she's trying to get me to do something, I'll give her a blank look. She'll be talking and she goes, "Did you understand?" And I'll tell her, "All I heard was womp, 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 womp." So anyway, I do understand that, but I want to get back to being serious again. Because that's all I hear when she talks to me and she wants me to do something. Womp, 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 womp. When she says we're not going to the casino, I hear womp, 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 womp. But kids in general in high school, even for myself, I'm almost 6'1", but in high school I was 5'4" all the way up through the 11th grade. Now I have friends of mine, one of them's Filipino. He was like 5'6", and he used to make fun of me. He used to tell me, there was a song called "Short People Got No Reason." Short people got no reason to live. And that song, he used to tease me with that song all the time. And my mom used to tell me, "Baby, don't worry. Good things come in small packages. Dynamite comes in small packages," and things like that to comfort me because I was short and, I would do that. I was short and had a big mouth. So I like to talk a lot of crap to everybody else. So I did get into a lot of fights as a kid, but it brings me to this point. Kids can be cruel. And how was it? Were you bullied a lot? Were you teased? Were you ostracized because you couldn't articulate the words that are in your head? And that must have been frustrating in itself, and we'll talk about that next. So were you bullied and teased a lot?
Almost every day. There was a point where I had to switch schools in 11th grade because the bullying got so bad. Half the people in my small class blocked me on Instagram because they not want to be associated with me. And because of the way I spoke at the protest in support of it's about the transgender community. That's when that's when I got the cold shoulder from like 75% of my class, because they said only trans people were supposed to speak and we didn't want you to talk. So that's like when the bullying got to its peak, and I ended up having to leave and go to a different high school for 12th grade. That is like one of the most depressing things, honestly. And I forgot what I was going to say.
I have a couple of questions. First of all, let me address Gamblers Unknown and Bradley Jones. I said I'm almost 6'1". I'm 6 foot definitely. But if you look at my picture standing next to Filthy Slot Channel and Mr. Handpay, I look like a midget. I look like Mr. Mike compared to those two guys, because those are huge guys. I'm just saying. I'm not quite 6'1", almost 6'1". That's one thing that I had to address, because they're giving me some crap. But my son had a good question for you. Let me see if I can find it. Do you feel like the Western world is accommodating for people with apraxia?
That is a really great question. In the Western world, not so much, especially where I work, because I'm expected to smile, and even though I'm expected to stand at the cash register for 8 hours, which is a nightmare for anybody with a speech disorder. Not disorder, but disability. Sometimes I do have a hard time with word finding and finding the appropriate words. So what happens is when I'm speaking is it is extremely stressful, and I find that I always have to raise my eyebrows and smile, because this is my resting face due to the stress of talking.
And let me say something else. I saw the comment in here, when I was talking about, kids being cruel. RFD 212 says, unfortunately, adults are crueler. Do you find that to be the case now that you're out of school and you are in a job, which you're a public facing job? You work in retail, as you just said, and retail could be tough just for anybody, because something happens to something, they bought something they didn't like, and they're already upset. Do they take that out on you? And do you
Yes,
find that adults are crueler than children?
definitely. They're, especially if you're in retail, they're way cruel. Is it okay if I give an example?
Yes, please.
One day I was at the cash register, and somebody handed me a $10 bill plus 25 cents, and I'm like, okay, and the product was like 9.55, and I'm like, all right. So I just grabbed the $10 bill and started just like and cashed the $10 bill in to the register, and that person's like, I gave you there was a reason why I gave you 25 cents, so I wouldn't have that much change. So I was then, because of my anxiety and my inability to articulate when stressed, I'm like, okay, yeah, sigh. So I open the cash up and I start counting change. And because when I'm stressed and when I'm in speech and when I have to talk to a stressed out customer, my ability to do math like drastically slows down, because my brain cannot do two things at once. And then that person said that all road cannot talk. That all can't change, and stomped out the dome.
Okay. Okay, so here's a couple of things. Danny D, the super supporter, says, yes, they do. I work as a bagger, but I just ignore them and move on. So basically, she's telling you to do the same. People can be cruel, and people don't always realize what other people are going through when they open their mouth and they spit out negativity or something like that. Duncan wants to know: have you been in other countries, and if so, are those countries more accommodating?
Yeah,
Um,
I have been to Denmark for study abroad in the summer, and yes, they have been way more accommodating. So what happens is like what happens in Denmark is that there's like a lot of immigrants from other European countries, so they expect you to be able to, they do expect people to come in with an accent. So it's definitely like, I do notice that the Danish are really open minded, and that when I go shopping in Denmark, people actually take the time to understand me and say, "Hey, can you please repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't understand." And people, I notice like in Denmark, people actually take the time to greet you, and they do take the time just to say hi and keep things pleasant.
yeah, yeah, and I feel here in the Western world, um, everything seems to be about time, my
It
time.
is.
I gotta hurry and get to what I'm doing. I don't have time for anybody else. A lot of people don't do this, and I challenge everybody to do this in the chat. And I try and do it as much as I can. When you're walking through the casino, when you're just at the grocery store, when you're just, on the street, at the gas station, smile and just say hi to somebody. That's it. Just say hi, smile, say, how's your day going? Hey, it makes a difference. You might not think so, but it does make a difference to everybody else out there. And I know it's not the same um, than stopping, taking time to understand what you're going through. Now, you yourself, the frustrating part for you is, I do know that you're a very smart woman and you're a very talented woman. I mean, your art is amazing. And the things that you could do, I can't do that. But how frustrating is it for you to know that you know the answer and you just can't get it out?
I honestly have to say it is extremely frustrating. The reason why it is so frustrating is because I like have to like answer that. If only I could write it out, I could have like a really strong answer. But because I have to say it, the first thing that people ever see of me, and like especially when I have to introduce myself, or I give it, or like answer somebody's question, is the very first thing people see. Instead of a strength, they hear my weakness, which is my voice, and
Hey,
that's why it is so frustrating. I always like having these thoughts and ideas, but yet I cannot articulate in a way that people understand. Most 90% of the time.
I get that, but I know that you consider that your weakness, but I also consider that your strength because you're able to take everything that's going on and keep moving forward. So I mean that in itself is a strength, and it's toughening you up, and it's making you who you are as a person. And the people that really want to get to know you, they're going to look way past that and understand you for who you are as a person, regardless of what it takes to do that. Now, the question I have is you said you have no problem writing down answers or things like that. And we'll get to the chat in a minute. How was testing for you? If you would just have a written test, how is that versus an oral examination
Uh,
for you?
all right, that is a really great question. When it comes to writing stuff down, especially if I know the subject, like really study the subject, like such as history, I'm able to get like really detailed in depth. The same also applies to sciences because I do consider myself a very science and analytic oriented person. However, I'm not the biggest fan of statistics. But going back to your question, yes, I'm like able to really write in detail when it comes to science, and I'm also really able to write in detail when it comes to history. But however, if you say instead if they say a tester, instead of history, instead of writing a test, I'm gonna make you say everything. Ha ha ha. That would be
Yeah.
something. That would be like downright to me. That would be downright cruelty because it is ableist, and ableism is the idea that everybody can do the same thing if they can muscle through it and have enough willpower. That is ableism right there. So if I had to do a spoken test, I would not. I'd most likely get an F on it because I'd be too slow to articulate and the time would run out because I find myself saying the same word and talking myself in circles. That is exactly what happens when I have to articulate a complex subject, especially when it comes to engineering, history, science, or the molecular structure.
Okay. So that brings me to this. In school, I was terrified. I was terrified of oral examinations,
Mm.
just because my teacher was Randy the Slot was. No, I'm joking. But I was literally terrified of oral examinations. And you yourself said it. You have a hard time coming out. How difficult was it for you to get outside your comfort zone to start a YouTube channel where thousands and thousands of people are going to see you? Your videos are up forever. You know, how difficult was that? What was going on in your mind when you decided, hey, I'm going to start a slot channel or I'm going to
It,
start a YouTube channel?
in my mind, I was like, let's just go for it. Let's see what happens. And I did anticipate that people would troll me and get really ugly about my voice. But I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's do a slot channel. Weirdly enough, the thing that does not freak me out at all is being on stage, performing, giving a public speech. Because the moment I get into the public eye, all my anxiety about my voice just washes away. And that's like when I can just really shine, is if I can do so, if I can give a public speech. And when I started my YouTube channel, I had absolutely no concern. I was not even thinking about my apraxia of speech. When I hit the record button, I'm like, let's just go for it. And I was not even thinking about my speech disability. Rather, I was just thinking about the slot machine and just how awesome it is.
Okay, so Creepy Old Man Slots says, I'm a freak with electronics. I do board level repairs, but I can't draw a stick man to save his life. You definitely got skills. As I said, some people's skills might not be what others are, and you definitely have skills as far as art goes. I need a Mexican Coca-Cola stat. He says that R.A. Junior's in the house. Appreciate you. Lucky Lady Slots is in the house. Appreciate you being in. Let's see, who else did I miss in here? Appreciate you guys, and I know Simon does as well. So tell us, Simon, what's going on with this event? What is the event about? Who's taking place in it? And what do you expect out of this event? What's your goal for the event?
All right, thank you so much for asking these questions. But first, may I please address SoCal's chat?
Oh, please. I didn't see it, so.
All right, so SoCal says, I prefer to hang out with those who had rough and tough times and had to overcome. To me, these are the realest people. And when he said that, I could immediately relate because like those because people who like have like who do go through a lot. I know that everybody has their challenges, but people has their challenges. But I feel that for me, if people are really open about their life challenges, and if people say like, "Hey, this is what's happening in my life. Here's how I'm going. Here's what's going on, and here's my process of how I process this information," I'm like, okay, let's hang out because I do find that when we talk about challenges, it really does spark a conversation about honesty, and it just like really builds this friendship for me because I'm not the biggest small talk person, but rather I going very deep and get very intellectual into conversations. All right, so going back to Rhinomon's questions, my
Real
event
quick,
is called.
Yoshi Slots is in the house. Welcome in, Yoshi. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Simon. I'm sorry.
It's okay, you can cut me off. Hey, Yoshi Slots, good to see you. All right, so for this event, Slots of APRAXIA Awareness, it is like a 3-hour event where people are going to go live.
Okay.
The reason I started this event is because I wanted to bring acceptance to the fact that your ability to articulate does not define your intellect, and this was kind of like this like event that came out of the blue, because I do have this Facebook page called Apraxia Story, where I advocate as a disabled survivor, because I'm also autistic and bipolar too. But going back to the event, I do want to raise acceptance to the fact that even if you struggle to articulate, yes, people can you can that the fact that you're still able to understand people, and that people should not judge somebody's ability to articulate about the intellect. So what we have going on in this event is at 4:30 p.m. I'm Mountain Pacific Standard Time. I'm going live on my channel. Then after my channel, TL Slots is going live at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then at 6:30, not at 6:30, but at 6 p.m., Rosta's Variety Channel is going live. And after Rosta's Variety Channel, I'm going to have Slot Sister. Slot Sister does Mighty Cash goes live for half an hour. And after Slot Sister is Lady Luck Slots, Lucky Lady Slots. And after that, we're going to got Slot Sister again to wrap up the event.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, you said you want to bring awareness to apraxia. Simon, you're doing that now. As with this interview that we're doing now, I had no clue about apraxia. I had no idea of what it was. You have just educated me on what it is. I really had no clue of what it was. So check that off. You're reaching people, and I don't know how many in the chat actually knew what it was prior to either this interview or hearing you talk on your Facebook page or something like that. So you're already getting the word out there. You know, appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you so much. And I'm for the interview and for the event. What it does is like what it does. My hope for this event is when people see the word apraxia in the title, that people begin to ask questions and ask what is apraxia, how does it affect a person, and like the event is there to like grab people's curiosity and just to spread like the fact that apraxia is a thing, and that people should be more mindful when it comes to discriminating against somebody's speech disability.
Okay, I'm going to touch on that right there. Before I do, I'm going to read Creepy Old Man Slots uh, chat. He said, "Hey, I failed at speech class in high school. I would not do presentations in front of anybody. Fear of being laughed at, I guess." Hey, bro, I met you. Did I laugh at you? Well, yeah, I did, but that was for a different reason, bro. I get it, and that was my fear of doing YouTube. I you know, you guys see my show, and you guys know I have dyslexia. I have a hard time reading the chat. I see words. I make up my own thing. I do my own thing, and that was my biggest fear about you doing YouTube, was reading the chat, doing the chat, trying to do this at the same time. Yeah, I could articulate whatever. However, reading the chat when it's going by quickly is hard for me, and it's one of my weaknesses or one of my shortcomings as far as everything. But you know what? You got to get outside your comfort zone. You got to do the things outside your comfort zone to make you better. And Simon's been doing that her whole life. Um, Absolutely, Simon. Continue on.
Thank you so much, and you're definitely right that I'm actually forced out of my comfort zone, and that the world really does force me to like do like stuff that makes me very uncomfortable. But going back to the event, I'm like so excited. I'm just like what can I say? Just how absolutely excited I am, and just how happy I am to finally be hosting my very first event, which is so near and dear to my heart. I do realize that I didn't do the best of marketing because I did end up in a mental institution. Right, like in the first week of January, I did end up in a mental institution to help reset my bipolar medications in hopes of being able to bring my stress levels way down so that I could better articulate.
Okay, now you mentioned something. Oh, I'm sorry, Simon. We got to end it right now. Randy the Slot Wizard just came in, and I don't want it to go crazy. Randy the Slot Wizard's here, and we can't have it, bro. Bro, you got to stay quiet the whole show. Do not say hi to anybody in the chat. We don't want you to ruin it, Randy.
All right.
And congratulations on your new channel, by the way. Uh, just saying, I'm only joking with him. I really love Randy the Slot Wizard. He's a wonderful guy. Um, you know, Going back to what you said, stepping outside your comfort zone. Brad 2030, thank you for coming in and doing that. This is your first event. You said you were in a mental institute because of bipolar. You're bipolar as well, or
I
is that something you're dealing with?
I'm actually bipolar as well. It is a very
Okay.
recent diagnosis, but my medications have actually been helping me be able to stay regulated and be able to articulate way better than I used to be able to.
Okay. You know what, Simon? I've met you in Vegas. We hung out, we ate breakfast, and, and during that breakfast, guys, you're not going to believe it. During that breakfast, before we had our food even served to us, she on a napkin, she goes, "What would you like?" I go, "A rhino sitting at a slot machine." And before our breakfast came, she had that drawn out, wonderful picture. I have that at home in my studio, a little picture on the napkin. I still have it right there. um, Talented girl, absolutely. And I know that your speech comes across a little rough for some people, but it's just the people that don't want to take the time to know you and get to know you better, because you're absolutely a wonderful person, and I can tell you have a huge heart. Um, so you're going through a lot and everything, and I'm glad you're bringing this event to bring attention to what it is that's going through, because I think if more people understand what apraxia is, they'll understand that, hey, you're dealing with somebody that can't always
Mm.
articulate what they're saying. It has nothing to do with their intellect, as you said. So I think you're doing a fantastic job at what you're doing, Simon.
Thank
And
you so much.
and I'm happy that you do have a slot channel, and you do have a channel that you're able to get your messages out to people.
Thank you so much. And Level Up Creator, you're so, so sweet. Thank you for putting all these words and comment in the chats. Hey, Brad, it's so good to see you. Oh, thank you, Ren Slots.
Ren Slots is in the house.
And
Thank you for
hey, Troublemaker Randy, what's up?
he is he is the troublemaker for sure. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to Simon's channel, please go over and do it. But I know everybody in here has already done it. Please watch our event tomorrow. That's going to be amazing. What are your future plans for your channel, for you, and what you expect to accomplish in the next 1 to 5 years?
Alright, so for the first 1 year, what I hope you will be able to do is get a steady job so that every week I can do a chat and chill show where I invite the guests up in the morning, and we just chat and we just chill with like a giant panel. Like not a giant panel, but we can bring people up onto a panel and just like do a chat and chill on the same morning every week. Hopefully I can get a consistent. Hopefully my schedule gets more consistent so I can have it on a consistent day. Then I also really hope that. What happens. Also really hope that at least once a week I can do a live art stream and a members appreciation stream where channel members can chat in the chat. That's my plan for the next year. In the next 5 years, I hope to be able to grow to 10,000 subscribers and to do more casino live streams, because I'm actually very far away from a casino where I am right now, and it's very hard to get to. So that's why I've honestly not been not been having the best of luck with my videos or my live streams, because I'm playing my slot machine at the house, which I absolutely take so much pleasure in. But
Okay, that's fantastic. Hey, Spin and Win Slots, thank you for coming in. Appreciate everybody coming in. Guys, please go to Simon's event tomorrow and watch your event. I would really appreciate it. Simon, it's been wonderful having you on the show. I'm going to have to cut the show a little bit early, but I really appreciate you being on the show. Thank you for coming in and getting the word out to everybody that you possibly can.
You are very welcome, and I'm honored to be a guest on your show. So thank you so much. That means the absolute world. And can I add something real quick before I go?
Sure.
Also, when I said about, but unfortunately, what I meant to say was, fortunately, I'm going to Keno Nation in Las Vegas, so that's when I can film some content. And I'm just really excited. So I'm excited. So thank you so much for having me on this show. This means the absolute world. And Rhino Man, you're so sweet.
Thank you, Simon. Hey guys, until tomorrow, let the good times roll, and we will see you then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.